let me ask you a question. Do you have those few things in your life that are so core to your day-to-day happiness, or just that bring you joy so much that you feel like you just can't live without them? I have some of those things, and I'm going to share those with you today. These are a few of my favorites.
These are a few of my favorite things.
Now, over the years, these things have changed. Now that I'm retired and I'm in my 50s, I have a whole new set of things that I feel like I can't live without. Now, let's back up the truck here just a minute. To be real, let's get real. Of course I can live without these things. Of course I can. Do I have a roof over my head? Yes. Do I have food in the fridge? Yes. Am I relatively safe where I live? Yes. Those are the things I can't live without. Do I have people in my life that I love and who love me? Yes. Those are the things that I pretty much can't live without. But there are a few things that I feel are non-negotiables in my life right now. Relatively. Let's start over here. The first one is this coffee maker. Now, I know it's just a coffee maker, big deal, right? But it actually, honest to goodness, makes the best cup of coffee I have ever had. And as I go through these items on my list, like the coffee maker, I will, if I can, put a link in the description where you can find it on Amazon. Any Amazon link that I include is going to be an affiliate link, which means I get a teeny tiny little piece of the purchase price for that. It's like 3 cents. Let me tell you the story about this coffee maker though. We were in the market. We just had a regular old Mr. Coffee. Did just fine. Very basic, on and off, no timer, no nothing. And we thought, gosh, wouldn't it be nice to get something just a little bit nicer, maybe with some more settings or bells and whistles. So my husband did all kinds of research, landed on the top 3 or 4 coffee makers that were highly rated. This one was on the list. This brand is OXO. But it cost, I don't know, it's over $100. It might be closer to $200. Anyway, it was a lot more money than we wanted to spend on a coffee maker. And so were all of the other great choices. So we decided just to wait, we can wait this out. Let's kind of see if we really want this or not. But he did the research. He knew his coffee makers at that point. Several months down the road, we're at a thrift store. And what does he find on the shelf? This bad boy right here for like $25. Grabbed it, put it in the cart, said, let's take this home and try it. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but for $25, we'll find out. I kid you not. The very first cup of coffee that came out of here was using the same coffee we had for our other coffee maker. So much better. So much better. It has in part to do with the fact that it looks like a drip maker, but it actually acts more like a pour over. And I'll show you some of the details on this, but fabulous cup of coffee, well worth the $100+ that we could have spent on it. But for $25 at the thrift store, heck yeah, I can't live without this. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. The next of my favorite things, and this has actually been one of my favorite things for well over a decade, is my moisturizer, my daily moisturizer. As we age, our skin oftentimes will lose moisture. Dry skin is a thing. Again, I'm not affiliated with this brand at all. It is this particular item of theirs is available on Amazon, so I'll post a link below. But this is Mario Badescu Collagen Moisturizer. It's got a slight SPF. It's got some collagen, cruelty-free, paraben-free, lots of good stuff in here. I love this brand. Again, this isn't a sponsored ad, although it could be. Just saying. It lasts, it's pricier than I would normally spend on something like this, but it lasts a very long time. You only need a tiny little bit. I would be heartbroken if I had to find another moisturizer. This one's really great. Let's go on another trip around my living room. Another thing that I can't live without, one of my very favorite things in the whole world, is this blanket. This cozy, soft, warm blanket for watching TV, for doing whatever, for reading. This is a Costco blanket. I don't know, it's not available. This specific one isn't available anymore. My husband picked this up for me a couple of years ago. He also has a blanket, a similar blanket from Costco. We both love them so much, and I highly recommend if you see a soft, warm, fuzzy blanket in Costco and you're looking for one, these are really nice. These are really, really nice. The next thing that I love so much that I can't live without are these Sonos speakers. Now these are a very, I'll show you the other one, it's hidden behind here. These are actually an older model. See, it's tucked behind all my plants. It's tucked behind there. Now, these are older models. They have to be, they have to be at least 10 plus years old. But Sonos still makes the updated versions of them. If you're interested, again, this is not a paid for ad for Sonos at all, although it could be. The reason I love these so much is, first of all, the quality of the sound. Spectacular. I absolutely love it. The sound is full, but not too bass heavy, although there's all kinds of adjustments that you can make. But what I love about them, I have 4. There's 2 here in the living room and then 1 in each of our bedrooms. And we also actually have a Sonos, what do you call it? The one that goes under your TV. Anyway, you control it from your app. You can control it from Spotify. I'm not super crazy about the interface between Spotify and Sonos, but it's okay. I just love that I can play music in any room of the house. I can adjust which rooms are playing which music, because you can have one set of music playing in one room and another in another, and you can control that all from your phone. And it's just so lovely to have the house full of music. Between the Sonos speakers, again, they're kind of pricey, but well worth it. And like I said, we've had them at least 10, maybe close to 15 years now, and they still work great. So it's a good investment. But as I mentioned with how I listen to Sonos is using my Spotify, you can use whatever streaming service you want, but Spotify is also something I can't live without. It is absolutely my favorite day-to-day app because I listen to music almost constantly, and I'm the playlist queen. I have well over 100 different playlists by mood, by genre, by decade, by like you name it, for specific events. I love my music, and I love to curate my music, and I love to find new music, and Spotify actually does a really nice job feeding me music that it thinks I might like, and 9 times out of 10 I do. So well worth the whatever, I think it's a $20 family plan that we have. Well worth it for me. And even if it was just for me, I'd still pay that because it is worth every single penny for me. Okay, so that takes care of the music, the blanket, the coffee. Those are all pretty important things. What else is on this list? Another thing that I have come to treasure, and this is sort of a really average, everyday, no-brainer, like everybody's probably going, really? That? But yes, is kitchen scissors. You can see I've got multiples. I can't imagine living without these bad boys. I didn't realize this until we started traveling around to Airbnbs and living in other people's houses for 3 years. And when we found that somebody didn't have these or they weren't available in the Airbnb, it was like the world stopped. Okay, so maybe it wasn't that the world stopped. Everything got a lot more difficult in the kitchen. These are amazing. Don't do that. These are amazing. If you don't have kitchen scissors, splurge, buy them for yourself, and you will be amazed at how often you use these and that you very quickly will realize they're hard to live without. Okay, so the next thing that I can't live without is this specific kind of bed. This, my friends, is an adjustable bed. So there's this little remote, and now I've had this bed for a little more than 10 years now. It was pricey, and it's worth every dime. I'd buy it again in a heartbeat, but it has helped me so much over the years. And I think especially as you get older and we start to have more medical issues, physical limitations, this can be an absolute lifesaver. So I would recommend the next time you're in the market for a new bed frame, that's the important part, consider getting an adjustable bed. By just pressing these buttons, you can see how it raises. Now, it can raise just a little bit, for when you're reading, or you could sit up more if you could watch TV. We don't have a TV in our room, but we used to, and it was nice to watch TV that way. But the life-saving piece of it is that it goes up so far, you are almost sitting upright at its most upright position. And the reason that this is so important, I found out very quickly, was that I had some abdominal surgery 10 years ago, and getting in and out of bed after an abdominal surgery is really painful and can be really tricky. And I learned that having a bed like this, like a hospital bed, right? When you're in the hospital, the bed moves up and down, right? There's a reason for that. And you might think, oh, that's for old people. Well, guess what? We're not getting any younger. So when I had my abdominal surgery, and I've actually had 2 since then as well, but I can raise myself up to this level and then much more easily swing out of bed without having to use my abdominal muscles to come to a standing position. Try that. Try getting out of bed, out of a regular bed, without using your abs. It's almost impossible. You really can't. You have to use your arms. You have to do all kinds of things. This so much made my recovery easier. And both times when I really, really, really needed it, I can't even describe to you the joy of being able to do this. Now, it also can raise, this particular model, you can raise the feet as well. So if you have issues with swelling in your ankles, you can raise your feet. All the different reasons why you might have to have elevated feet totally works for that. There's a setting, can't remember what it's called, but it's basically the optimal setting for both the feet and the head to be raised at a certain level so that it takes the most stress off of your back. Again, that can be hugely helpful if you've got back issues. Now, it also comes with this massage feature, which is really just like from back in the day, what was that called? The magic fingers in the hotel room. It's like that, right? It just it shakes the bed. And I thought that was super silly. Like, why in the world would I need magic fingers? Ew, that's crazy. That's really weird. So 70s, right? until I started doing some research on it. And guess what? There's a physical reason why you would have that feature. And it has something to do with the fact that that slight shaking, that very slight shaking, helps to oxygenate your blood. And when your blood is adequately oxygenized, what's the word? When your blood has adequate oxygen, it makes it so much easier to fall asleep. It actually, there's a mechanism in there somewhere. If I can find an article that explains it, I'll put it in the description. But trust me, like there's an actual reason why you would want to do that. And guess what? It works. I don't ever want to live without one of these again. Another thing that I can't live, that this does fall in the category of I might shrivel up and die if I don't have this. These are my noise canceling headphones. Now, the reason why these are so important to me, I'm going to take them off because it's probably changing the way that I talk. I got these when we lived in Mexico, because it is a much noisier culture than we're used to here in the States. It's just loud there. Sometimes you cannot fall asleep at night if you're sensitive at all without something like this. But I'm also a highly sensitive person, an HSP, which is a thing. Well, one of the ways it can manifest itself is that I hear everything. I mean, I hear electricity coming into a phone charger. I hear a lot of things. So I think I would go nuts if I had to hear all the noises that the world throws at me sometimes. So I use this around the house. Sometimes I just turn on the noise canceling feature, not even listening to music, but just turn on the noise canceling feature. If there's construction going on somewhere, lots of banging or drilling or whatever loud noises, I put these on. I think my husband would agree. This is probably one of the most important things that I own. and these did start to break a few months ago. These pads here, I don't know if you can see that, are, very soft. And over time, especially since I had them in Mexico where it's very humid, it was a oceanside environment. So it was, the air was very salty, and these started to really break down over time. And these are pricey. This particular model is a Bose model, and they're pricey. And so I would have replaced them, but my husband said, I wonder if you could just replace the earpiece on these. So he poked around, found the replacement kit for them, cost like $8, had them sent here, and I replaced them myself. I went onto YouTube, found a video on how to do it, and I did it. It took me like 5 minutes. So I will be doing that again if that's what breaks down on these next. Yeah, I couldn't live without these. I really couldn't. I don't think my husband could live without me having these either. Kidding, honey. Anyway. Oh, and I forgot about another thing. Oh, hold on. Now we're talking. Brown paper packages tied up in strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Yay, I got to say it. Oh, I'm a sucker for the sound of music. Anyway, I love wrapping things in brown paper. I love getting gifts wrapped in brown paper, tied up with just a simple little string.
These are a few of my favorite things.
Now we're getting silly. Oh my gosh, I hope this is good. I don't know. Okay.
What a feeling. Now it's time